Well, it is a special honor to be here at IS 318. This group of young dancers behind me, I got to watch them practicing. They were working very, very hard, very disciplined, difficult stuff ballet, and they were doing a great job. So I think we should all be very proud. And let's give a round of applause to these young ladies. Well, it's a great pleasure to be here. IS 318 is already legendary for a lot of reasons. One, of course, is world-renowned, literally world-renowned chess program celebrated in the acclaimed documentary film Brooklyn Castle. But another reason it deserves a lot of credit is because there's an incredible focus here on summer enrichment. Over 400 kids are in summer enrichment programs this summer. Summer school is one thing, and summer school is important for kids who need summer school, but summer enrichment is kids who are getting more in the summer, who are deepening their knowledge, deepening their abilities, keeping that consistency from one school year to another. Makes a huge impact on kids to have that ability to keep learning over the summer, to keep fresh, to keep focused. And the three groups I saw today, where the common thread between them was an amazing level of focus and determination in each of them. Bill Chong, why aren't you standing next to me? Come stand next to me. And the principal, where's the principal? Come stand next to me, please. One on each side. There we go. I will introduce each of you in 1 second, but I just want to say the common thread was the incredible amount of discipline and determination through each of these programs. Do we have any of the young people from the chess program here? Chess, where are you? Yes, right back there. And, all right, we had chess, we had dance. The band, thank you. Who's here? Anyone here from the band? Okay, excellent. So each of them, a lot of focus, great work being done by the teachers and the young aides who are helping them. But you could tell, you could walk in the room immediately, and you could see the seriousness, the purposefulness. And this is in July. So imagine what it means that these young people are applying themselves in this fashion in July, what it'll mean for their strong start to the new school year in September. And as we always say about summer enrichment, as we always say about after-school programs, a child who is in this building safe and sound in learning is not out in the streets and anywhere in harm's way. They're safe, they're being supported, and they're learning. Every parent knows that's a huge blessing. The administration is very devoted to these summer enrichment programs, and they will follow right through with our after-school programs in the fall. I want to thank Bill Chong, our Commissioner of the Department of Youth and Community Development, for his extraordinary efforts to bring these summer programs and the after-school programs in the fall to fruition. He's been working nonstop and doing a great, great job. I want to thank the principal, Principal Leander Windley, for running this wonderful school. I said, you know, it's a beautiful school. It's clean. It's orderly. There's a lot of focus. There's a lot of purposefulness, and that comes from the top. So we thank you for your leadership. We thank your assistant principal, John Galvin. We thank Jim O'Neill, the president of the Sports and Arts Foundation, Sports and Arts and Schools Foundation, that supports so much of this work. And we appreciate, again, all of the young people who are putting so much of themselves into the things that they care about, and they're learning so intensely. Now, we are thrilled that there's been such a great response to this summer enrichment program. We're going to show you. Let's just move you over here, Mr. Chong. This way, please. You can bring the map forward. So you can see the red dots, but there's also green and yellow dots too. There are three different types of summer enrichment programs, but what you can see clearly is all over the 5 boroughs. All over the 5 boroughs, you have available summer enrichment seats. They're going very, very fast, and the central message today to parents is, if you want your kids to experience what these kids are experiencing, the incredible programs like dance and band and chess, what we saw the other day on the Lower East Side, the science programs, all of these different programs available to kids this summer, but seats are limited and they're going fast. Parents need to apply now so their kids can have this opportunity. The summer programs will run through the end of August, through August 29th. They started last week, and they'll go all the way to August 29th. I want to emphasize, we know that everybody's summer schedule is different. Some families go away for a period of time. Some kids go to summer school. All sorts of things affect each family's schedule. But young people can connect with the summer enrichment efforts at any point along the way. If the family went away for a few weeks, they can come back and join summer enrichment. If they went to summer school, they can come right out of summer school and go into summer enrichment. Seats will be available, but parents have to act fast to sign up their children. Middle school kids are the target here. Middle school kids deserve more support. They deserve better options. It is a crucial time in a young person's life. We want to reinforce the middle school level. That's why we've made this big commitment to summer enrichment and why we've made the big commitment to after school in the fall. In the middle school level, it's the make or break time in kids' lives. We want to encourage their intellectual curiosity. We want to encourage their commitment to their studies. We want to help them find that which in them motivates them, and that's why these efforts are so important. It speeds up their development. It helps them realize what they're good at and deepen their connection to their studies. These kind of examples, the science classes from Lower East Side, band, chess, dance here, but there's others all around the city. New York Harbor Foundation is providing lessons in marine biology. The Urban Arts Partnership has a program in digital media. There's all sorts of extraordinary specialized programs for summer enrichment, and they match not only children's interests, but they match the geography of the city. So there's good options all over the city. Now, this is, again, part one of what's going to then segue into our after-school effort, a very big expansion of after-school in the fall for middle school kids as well. Let me just say something quickly in Spanish, and then we will take on-topic questions followed by off-topic questions. Los programas de verano dan a los estudiantes de escuelas intermedias de Nueva York más oportunidades de aprender y crecer en un ambiente seguro. La ciudad ofrece una gran variedad de programas gratis para satisfacer los intereses de cada estudiante. Todavía hay cupo. Registre a sus hijos hoy. Again, for those who speak English, register your children now while there still are some seats and give them this extraordinary opportunity. For all of the reporters and everyone who got to see these young people at work today, you can tell, and I can say this as a parent myself, you'd be instantly proud to have your child was working the way these kids are today, the focus, the energy, the commitment. It's a good example of what each child has in them if they have the right kind of support. With that, we would like to welcome questions on topic first, and then we'll go off topic. On topic. Yes? We've got about 23,000 filled. The grand total is 34. We're picking up thousands each day lately. So we've got, and about right now, we're, I think, 6,000 or 7,000 above the total usage of last year. So what we're seeing is the pace is picking up of parents signing up their kids. We're well over last year's rate, and we think we're well on our way to filling all the seats. And we know there'll be, again, people coming back from trips, kids coming out of summer school going right into the enrichment program, so we feel good about the trajectory. Any other questions on topic? Yes?
There are nearly 10,000 fewer students in summer school this year. Do you think kids are getting enough classroom time that they need? And do you think that's a drawback from the shift away from standardized tests?
Well, I feel very confident that the way we're making decisions about summer school, again, separate from summer enrichment, but the way we're making decisions about summer school is now in the hands of a renowned educator, and that's our Chancellor, Carmen Farina. And she, like me, believes we need to look at multiple measures when we're making any assessment of our young people. And I think the system she's come up with better represents the needs of our children. So I feel good about the numbers. They're not that different than the numbers in previous years. This last year had an unusual number, but if you go back to several years before, they're very consistent with those numbers. But most importantly, I like the approach she's taking. And our ever-increasing focus on evaluating kids with multiple measures. So I feel good about where summer school is. Summer enrichment, as a growing component, I think offers a great chance to strengthen young people's educational trajectory. There are some kids, by definition, who are just going to benefit a lot more if they stay continuous in their learning and not lose those couple of months. You know, there is a certain amount of atrophy that happens over the summer by definition. A lot of kids benefit from the consistency, and that's what the summer enrichment allows. On topic. Going once. Was that a no? On topic.
Mr. Mayor, on July 18th, there's still a line where we...
No, we're on topic. On topic. Nice try. On topic, yes.
Mr. Mayor, you talked about beginning this program through the fall, September, the aftercare for middle school. How is that going to work? Can you talk about
Yep.
is this something that is also coming from the funds from the state, from the pre-K? I just want to know.
Yes. Yeah, all of the enrichment and after-school programs are from that pot of money we got from the state, part of our original vision for pre-K and after-school. Again, recognizing that pre-K starts the learning process earlier with full-day pre-K for all. After-school stretches out the school day, and in this case, even the school year, by providing the summer opportunities. So it all comes from that pot of money. We have young people who will participate in summer enrichment, but might not in after school. We have some who might just do after school during the school year, but not the enrichment. But I guarantee you there'll be a number of kids who do both. And for them, they're going to have a lot more learning time tacked onto the normal school calendar. And I think we've seen lots of research that makes clear. If you give kids more time in a structured setting, they're going to learn a lot more. They're going to become stronger. And look, the great thing about these enrichment programs and after-school programs is they're very serious, and yet they have a lot of fun to them as well. All the activities you saw today, kids are having a great time, but they're learning a lot at the same time. That's the hallmark of after-school. It gives each child a chance to really figure out what they're good at and what they care about. But at the same time in after-school, there's always a tutorial element, a homework help element, so it keeps kids on task while giving them that chance to deepen. On topic, yes. Everything is going to be evaluated. I'm glad you asked. Yes. We have one of the kings of evaluation here. We are going to evaluate the summer enrichment program. We're going to evaluate the pre-K program. We're going to evaluate the after-school program constantly. And one of the things we've said is that each year you're going to see evolution. We believe very strongly, for example, when it comes to the pre-K effort and teacher training, we're going to constantly update. We're going to constantly look at which elements of the summer enrichment are most effective and lean into those. The same with after school. So we're making a very big commitment here, and we want it to constantly improve, and we want to see what works and what doesn't and really lean into the better models. On topic, going once. On topic, going twice. We are off topic. Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, since you both normally or often speak about income inequality while
Yes.
you go, do you want to meet Pope Francis? Are you trying to meet with him? In lieu of it, I'm trying to meet with anybody.
I would be obviously tremendously honored to meet the Pope. From my understanding, his schedule has him out of Rome or unavailable in the days that we're there. I've made very clear that I hope he will visit New York City, and we sent a formal request through Cardinal Dolan asking for a papal visit. We're hopeful that we'll have a chance for that, perhaps next year. So at this point, there's no meeting scheduled. If anything were to emerge, we'll certainly let you guys know. But he has been, I'm glad you asked, because he has been, I think, the #1 global voice talking about the challenge of inequality and the need for us to do things very differently to address inequality all over the world. And I think he has been the ultimate voice of conscience on this issue. No, I think the Pope obviously is extremely, I think if we, the rest of us think we're busy, just think about the Pope and his worldwide constituency. So no, I think it's, most of us assume he would not be available when traveling to Rome. But what I care about most is the opportunity to get him to come here, and we're going to work very diligently on that. Grace, right over here.
Another question about this trip, the 9 days in Italy, the longest trip, vacation any mayor has taken in 2 decades. I'm wondering if you had any concern or reservations about taking a vacation that long this early in your first term. And I know your aides had said that if there was an emergency, you might cancel or postpone.
Right.
Would the Long Island Railroad strike, should that go through, be considered such an emergency that could cause you to delay?
Well, let's take the first part of the question first. We have an extraordinary team here, and I have great confidence in their abilities. And at any point when I travel, even if I go to another city, I'm in constant touch with our team. I get briefed all the time. I make decisions as needed. You know, thankfully we are living now in a time of a different kind of technology than used to be available in the past. So I can be in absolutely immediate touch with all the key figures in the administration whenever needed. First Deputy Mayor Tony Shorus is exceedingly able, has been in senior positions in government for decades. Commissioner Bratton will be here, Commissioner Nigro of the FDNY will be here, Commissioner Esposito of OEM will be here. The city will be very well served, and I will be in constant contact. I think for me, particularly vis-a-vis my family, you know, when you have a family as I do, one kid still in high school, one kid in college, it's very important to spend the time together. And that's something that to me is pretty sacred. It's also for us very important. Our heritage means a lot. You know, we're going to both of my grandparents' hometowns. That's something I've been wanting to do again very much. And I think it'll be a very important family time. But I also would say we obviously have various official events we'll be doing. And for many New Yorkers of Italian heritage, I think they share with me the understanding of what it means to go to the homeland. I think almost every New Yorker can relate to the notion of going to where your ancestry is from and what that means. In terms of the LIRR, at this moment, from what I know from my conversation with Governor Cuomo on Friday, you know, there's still a very serious hope that we can resolve this. Obviously, that's the state and the MTA working with the LIRR union. There's a hope that this can be resolved. I hope everyone will continue talking. I think that's the way forward. We certainly found that in our labor relations in the city. The more we talked, the more we found a pathway to resolution. In the event there is a strike, the contingency plans are very strong. We benefit from the fact it's July, and I think the amount of travel is reduced in July. We benefit from the fact that a lot of people now, because of technology, can work from home, and I imagine if that event comes to pass, a lot of people will work from home who live in Long Island. So I think the contingency plans are very strong. The coordination between the state, the MTA, and the city is very strong. So I feel confident we're in good shape. But what I'd say is we're going to watch each development by definition. We have a plan for this trip, but we're going to watch along the way and see how things develop.
So you're not saying whether you come back or not?
Everything has to be a case-by-case decision. What I'm saying is, at this moment, I am hopeful there will not be a strike, and I believe very strongly in the contingency plans in place. But we'll monitor the situation closely.
What can you tell us about those contingency plans?
It's what you've seen publicly. I think the plans have been fairly well laid out. The additional bus service, the ferry service, obviously NYPD and New York City DOT are taking measures to try and make sure that traffic is well regulated. But I think the strong assumption is, again, the combination of being July and the ability of people to work from home is going to make this, thank God, something that can be managed very effectively. Yes?
The Times had a report today about violence among correctional officers at Rikers Island. Curious to hear your reaction to that, whether you might see any immediate steps.
Oh, a lot of steps are happening right now. That report obviously focused on events that took place last year in the previous administration, but I think we have laid out a very aggressive plan for change. And I have to give Commissioner Joe Pont a lot of credit. He has been very public about saying this is an unacceptable state of affairs and very serious and immediate action has to be taken. You've seen investigations going on that have led to real results in terms of law enforcement. You've seen a huge amount of money devoted to the changes we need through the city budget passed a few weeks ago. We take the whole series of concerns very seriously. And I think Commissioner Pont, if you look at his background, he's a turnaround expert. He has gone into very difficult situations all over the country and taken dysfunctional prison and jail systems and gotten them right. And that's what he's going to do here. Has a lot of support from me, a lot of support from First Deputy Mayor Shorus, a lot of resources being put at his disposal. So we work from the assumption the current state of affairs is unacceptable, and we're going to be taking very serious and quick actions to change it. Tony Shorus, as First Deputy Mayor, for all intents and purposes, will be making all the day-to-day decisions. If you look at the charter, that provision that takes place after 9 days is fairly narrowly drawn. But practically speaking, obviously the public advocate is a close colleague. Everyone understands if it's a matter of a few hours, it's a technicality. I think what you're going to see is very consistent functioning in the city government and lots of communication.
In addition to spending time with the family, can you tell us which governors they closely plan to meet with and what you will to accomplish business-wise on the trip?
Well, I think in terms of the figures in the Italian government, the national government will be working with. We are waiting for the final answers on who those meetings will be with. In terms of mayors, there's a possibility of seeing some of the mayors in some of the cities I'll be in, including Rome and Naples. Look, a couple of things. One, obviously, Italy is a very central nation in the world. It's now running, the chairmanship of the European Union at this point, a crucial American ally, a country from which a huge number of people in New York City and the metropolitan area have their ancestral roots. So it's a close relationship on many, many levels. In terms of the mayors, I think what I find when I talk to mayors from anywhere in the world, we share ideas, we compare notes, we work together on a host of issues, and I think mayors more and more are setting the pace for some of the changes that have to happen in the world. So I think this is part of building upon something that my predecessor, Michael Bloomberg, did, I think, a fine job on working closely with mayors around the world on areas of common concern like climate change, like the fight against income inequality, things where we all have to push our national governments for a series of changes looking to the future. So I think they're important relationships to develop. Yes?
The Post had a report this weekend that four teachers who were taken from the classroom for sexual misconduct now have desk jobs and are making about $400,000 for them. And I was wondering, will these teachers continue to have desk jobs, and will they ever be back in the classroom?
We're certainly going to reevaluate that situation. I think we have shown, both through the actions of the DOE and through the new teacher contract, that we are very focused on making sure that people who don't belong in the profession move along. I don't know the details of these 4 cases. I don't want to prejudge. I can certainly assure you we will review them again.
Mayor, from here we have a really good view of how long your legs are. I'm just wondering whether you're going to be flying first class or
Thank you for sharing. At least this time, Rich did not ask me to take my clothes off. I consider this progress. Rich, I fly coach very consistently. Yeah.
Just to follow up one more time on the Long Island Railroad.
Yeah.
Do you consider, if there was a strike, would you consider that an emergency for New York City?
I think it depends on the particular dynamics. So first, I think we have a couple of moving parts here. We hope and pray there will not be a strike. And you may get to the deadline and there may be a mutual extension, which happens many times in these situations. Second, we will know upon getting to that point, if there is in fact a strike, how all of the measures being taken to address it are working. Again, my strong suspicion, and I think a lot of other people involved share it, is that because the timing happens to be the second half of July, and because people now, more than, say, 20 years ago, have the option of working from home and basically could be the same effect as if they're in their office, I think what you're going to find is a lot of people stay home, and a lot of people are away anyway, and the effect will be quite manageable, and the coordination between the city, the state, and the MTA is very, very strong. But we're going to look at it carefully every step along the way, and we'll make decisions accordingly. All right? Over, I'm sorry? Yes?
There was a rally this morning outside City Hall of elected officials in support of Israel, and then right outside the gates there was a rally of people in support of Palestine. So we can get your thoughts on that this morning, and do you think it's appropriate for local elected officials on the city level to be weighing in on these issues?
Absolutely. I am the mayor of the city, again, talking about a city within its city limits. I am the mayor of the city on the earth with the largest Jewish population anywhere on this earth. By definition, I've said it many times, it's not only normal and natural, I consider it my responsibility to stand up for the state of Israel. And Israel has a right to defend itself, period. We all hope and pray for as quick an end to the bloodshed as possible. We all hope and pray for a resumption of the talks that could lead to a long-term solution. But the bottom line here is Israel came under unprovoked attacks by rockets from Gaza, and it has a right to defend itself.
Same immigration is the mayor is taking another stage, center stage, what's happening
Yes.
in the border.
Yes. Absolutely. And to be fair, the City Council took tremendous leadership. Speaker Melissa Mark Viverito on the Council provided a lot of the funding for that, and we were happy to include it in the budget. This fits very nicely with what we achieved last week, which is the municipal ID bill, because both of these ideas, municipal ID and providing the legal services to those facing deportation, are about treating those who happen to be undocumented as our neighbors, as part of our city, as people who matter, as human beings. And I think in an ever more global context, this is the right way for a city to handle it. In fact, the reason it's so humanly important is for so many of the people facing deportation, their families are here in New York City. Many of their family members are American citizens, in fact. Someone could be facing deportation and their child might be about to stay here, or vice versa. The fact is, we have an obligation to help, and when you provide the legal help, what you find is a lot of people who might have been deported wrongly are not deported and can stay with their family. And keeping families together is a value I think should unite all of us. So we're very proud of this program. I hope it will be an example to the rest of the country, like I hope municipal ID will be. We are so appreciative to the cities that started municipal ID ahead of us, like New Haven and San Francisco and Oakland. They provided us inspiration. I hope this legal services program will provide additional inspiration around the country. Let's treat our fellow New Yorkers properly. Let's keep families together. And then we hope all of that will push the national government to do what it should have done years ago and finally achieve a comprehensive immigration reform. Thank you very much.